Hello students, welcome back to your science class. So students, in the previous class in the chapter that is combustion and flame, we had completed the chapter and we have understood that what are the different substances which are harmful and that is caused due to burning of fuel. So we have seen the different pollutants which is released when we burn fuel and they are harmful in different perspectives. Like we have seen the carbon monoxide released by it occurs due to the partial combustion. Basically, when we heat or when we heat a fuel or burn a fuel, it in the less amount of oxygen, it will show the combustion, but this combustion is the partial combustion, and because of the partial combustion, the gas which is released due to it is carbon monoxide gas. Carbon monoxide gas is a very poisonous gas, students. It will combine with the hemoglobin which is present in our blood and cut the supply of the oxygen to reach to the blood. Ultimately, resultant what happen? It will cause suffocation, it will cause headache, dizziness, and due to which even if the amount is a lot more, then it can even cause the death of the person. So, it's a very harmful gas for us. Next one is the carbon dioxide gas, although it is very important for the process of photosynthesis. But this gas, you see that this gas is actually when the amount of carbon dioxide increases a lot, then it will react with the, it will make the temperature very high. And due to which melting of ice occur, melting of glacier and leading to global warming. Nitrogen oxide and sulfur dioxide, they are present in the atmosphere, and when rainfall occurs, they will combine with the rain and form acid rain. And other particulate matter also causes asthma, bronchitis, dizziness, suffocation to that of the person. So these are some of the harmful effect of the fossil fuels. Of the fuels. So we have understood fuel, we have understood combustion, we have understood the type of combustion, flame, what are the different zones of the flame, what are the different type of a flame, as well as what is the importance of flame, what are the different types of fuel, and finally the ideal fuel also and its effect. Now today we will going to start with a new chapter, and that is conservation of plants and animals. Plants and animals. You see, in nature, okay, abiotic components are there, including air, including soil, including water, but abiotic components are there and they used to interact with each other and complete the ecosystem, help in balancing the ecosystem. Okay, so an organism, talking about organism, if you plant and animals are what they came in the living organism, and if a living organism, every living organism different from each other, and they used to live in their particular condition. Air, suitable temperature is required for them, and according to that they used to live at different places. You see that there are animals and plants you will find in the extreme conditions. This means where the temperature is really very high or where the temperature is very low. So they have adapted themselves, and that is their own way of living. That is their habitat according to which they used to live in that particular condition. So every living organism, they need their air, the proper temperature in which they live. Food is required. So all these things are really important factor for the survival of a living organism. So we can write here that an organism lives in an environment where it is able to find water, air, food, suitable temperature, and other means to survive. And other means to survive. And these factors decide the form of life that will exist in a given environment. Okay, so these factors basically decide the kind of a different organism, and basically they are responsible for telling the different variety of the animal living in a particular condition. So wherever they are living, they used to live according to the environment in which they can get water, they can get air, food, the temperature, so that they can survive. Suppose a polar bear is not able to live in a hot and a humid condition. Okay, because they have adapted, they live in a condition where the temperature is very low. Okay, so every living organism used to live in such an environment where it will get easily all these factors can be get in order to maintain their life. And whatever will be the natural occurrence, means you see that all the living organisms, they get affected by the natural occurrence as well as these days by human activities also. Suppose an organism is living in a condition where the temperature is very low, and what happened there, due to some activities or due to some disturbance, the temperature become high and the temperature do not remains the same. So at that time, an organism will be not able to survive, or it will be very difficult for it to survive. So if there is any change in the nature occur, that will cause the disturbance to the life of that particular organisms. Not only this, human activity is also responsible for that. So not natural occurrence, but human activities like these days deforestation, killing of the, hunting of the animals. These are what they are actually decreasing the rate of the animals or the rate of the other living organisms. So natural occurrence and living and human activities they greatly affect the variety of a living organism or the plants or the animals living around us. And to maintain this, we must coexist. Okay, so the amount, it should be maintained. So basically what happened, the meaning of this chapter is conservation of plant and animal, student. Right now we said that every living organism, they are living in such a condition where they get all the things that they needed for their survival, including air, food, water. But due to some natural calamities or due to human activities, especially due to human activities, students, these days it is difficult. Most of the species, they are going extinct. Most of them become endangered. So it is important for us to conserve them in order to maintain the ecosystem, in order to maintain the balance. Okay, so this chapter is all about the plants and animal, different variety, biodiversity, what happened to the species, what is the cause of the extinction, and what are the different methods by which we can conserve the plants and animals to maintain the ecosystem. So let us start with the first thing, and that is biodiversity. We have to understand that what is biodiversity, then we will understand that how can we conserve it. Biodiversity. Let me write few points about it and then I'll explain it. So biodiversity means the variety among forms of life. Second point, that is the existence of diverse variety. The existence of diverse variety of plants and animals, and other living organism is called biodiversity. So basically, bio means life, and diversity means variety. Okay, diversity stands for variety. Now see here, the name itself explains a lot of a thing. Variety and life. Biodiversity. It means variety of life. Life means that we are talking about living organism. So different variety of a living organism, when they are living together, that we call as the biodiversity. Biodiversity means variety among the form of life. Existence of diverse variety of plant and animal and other living organism is called biodiversity. If you look, earth consisting of million of a living organism, and they differ from each other in various forms, and all of them, they are living on the earth. So we can say here that different variety, existence of different variety of plants, different variety of animals, different variety of a living organism, this is collectively called as biodiversity. Okay, so variety among the different forms of life, variety that exists among the different forms of a life, variety among that of the different plants, that is called as biodiversity. Now you see here, in the biodiversity we will include everything. It does not depend upon the shape, on the size. It can be a big animal, it can be small animal, it can be a blue whale, which is a quite large animal, or it can be an amoeba. Anything. Amoeba is what? That is comes into the microorganism. They are very small. So biodiversity include everything, the different variety of the living organism, and these variety, they differ from region to region. As some places the amount of the plant and the animals are more, as some places the amount is less. Okay, and it totally depend upon the kind of a climatic condition. Obviously, where will be the more variety of a plant and animals, you will see where the conditions are good for them. Because earlier when I started the chapter, I said that all living organisms, they want to live in such conditions which are suitable for them. Suitable means where they can exist, where they can live easily. So the different region having different biodiversity because of the different conditions, different climatic conditions are there. If the climatic condition at a place is really good, then it will be rich in biodiversity, and if it is not good, it will be deficient to that biodiversity. Okay. Talking about India, India is rich in biodiversity. It means the conditions here is good for the different plants and the organisms to survive. So, India has a rich biodiversity. India has rich biodiversity. Okay. Because when you look at our country, the condition also vary. Some places the temperature is quite high, some places the temperature is quite low. So the condition is very nominal for the different, means there are some of the living organisms who can live in a cold area, cold climate. So there are who used to live in a hot climate, and there are who live in a moderate climate. So our country provided the different kind of a temperature and condition for every living organism. That is why India is rich in biodiversity. Okay, so India is rich in biodiversity because of the different parts. Now here, why biodiversity is important? We are talking about biodiversity. What is the use? Why it is important? So let us see that. What are the different reason of having a rich biodiversity? Biodiversity is very important because because look, if plants are there, biodiversity means different forms of a life is there. So if plants are there, so plants produces food. Which will be consumed by the animals. It will be consumed by the animals. Animals, they in return help the plant in dispersal of the seed. So animal help plant in dispersal of seed, and also its excretion, and also providing manure through excretion. Also providing manure through excretion. So plant produces food which can be consumed by the animals, and in return animal helps the plant since it provides the manure to the plant so that they can grow easily, as well as it will help in the dispersal of the seed that will increases the quantity of the plants. Okay, so what does that we have understood here? That here biodiversity, it ensures the coexistence of plant and animal, as well as mutual dependence among the life form. The biodiversity ensures coexistence and mutual dependence among life forms. These are the two sentences, student. The first one, that this plant is producing food, and this food it is providing to the animals. They are consuming. Plants are able to make their own food. That's why they are the producers. Okay, and consumers are what? Animals. So we used to obtain the food from the plant. Now in return, how we are beneficial to the plants? So through excretion, we are providing the manure to them which is required for them, and also with the help of the animals, the seeds get dispersed. Okay, that will increase its number. And these two statements help in telling the biodiversity and importance of biodiversity, since biodiversity is basically depend on the coexistence of a life forms. It means all the living organisms, they live together and they must be mutually dependent on each other. Okay, so this is about biodiversity. Now, related to the biodiversity, there are some of the common terms are there, student. Like we are talking about plants and animals. Instead of using the term, we use here flora and fauna. Flora and fauna. So the first one is flora. Flora and fauna. Flora, it refers to the plant life. At a particular geographical region, plant life is called as flora. Fauna is related to the animals. So flora refers to the plant life of a particular geographical region. Particular geographical region. Whereas fauna refers to animal life, animal species found in a region. Animal species found in a region, that is fauna. These are a natural resource, students. Resource is what? Before that, whenever we are talking about resource, we said anything that we obtain from nature. Yes, plants and animals are also a kind of a natural resources through which we used to obtain food, we used to obtain oxygen. Okay, so basically we can say here that these are a very nice, very good renewable natural resources. Okay, and the flora and fauna forms the region. It constitutes the biodiversity of the region. Flora and fauna of a region collectively constitute the biodiversity of that region, okay, it constitutes the biodiversity of that region. So this is the flora and fauna. Obviously, where the amount of the flora and fauna will be more, it means the living organism are more, and different variety of a flora and fauna will constitute the biodiversity. Because in biodiversity also we study the same thing, the different variety of the plants and the animal living together, that is called as the biodiversity. If different species of the animals, that is fauna, and different species of the flora, that is plant species, if both of them are more at a place, that will increases the biodiversity of that particular region. So this is about the flora and fauna. Moving on, and we will see the next one, and that is habitat. Habitat is what? It is the reason. Let me write the definition first. So, habitat is what, student? That is a suitable condition which is important for all the living organism to live. That is called its habitat. You know that every living organism need a suitable condition for their survival, and the suitable condition for the living organism where they can live, where they can survive, is their habitat. So the definition of a habitat is a natural environment. Habitat is a natural environment. Of an animal plant or other organism that is called as habitat. So organism where they live, multiply and thrive. They live, multiply and thrive. That is the habitat of a living organism. The habitat, suppose if you're talking about the habitat of a fish. So habitat of fishes is pond, lakes, river, sea or ocean. This is the habitat of a fish. Okay, habitat of a cactus. Habitat of cactus is cactus and camel are sandy, hot, dry deserts. Habitat of a rhinoceros is grassland. Okay, habitat of the rhinoceros is grassland. Habitat of a tiger, grassland. Forest, Okay, habitat of the animals which lives on, like Angora goat lives in a mountain hill. So this is the different habitat of a different animals.